What's up, everybody? Welcome to RBL Weekly. I'm the Roast Battle League Commissioner, Pat Barker. Brian Moses is en route and will be joining us shortly as he navigates the mean streets of London. That's right. We are in the United Kingdom. We are in London. We are at the Top Secret Comedy Club. As we sit here right now, in about 3 hours, the World Championships will be going down. Somebody will be leaving here tonight with this World Championship belt, and we're going to talk to the guys who are competing in this. First up, the American side of things, the current LA champion, Nate Welch, the current New York champion, Andrew Manning, the reigning MVPs. You guys are going up first tonight. That was a choice that was made last night. You had the right to make that decision. You left it up to a coin toss, and now you guys are going up first. You seem pretty satisfied with that. You could have had the first battle or the second. You said the coin landed. You said, great, we're kicking it off. How do you feel about having to set this thing off tonight?
Well, Pat, it's all about perspective. You know, we got to make sure that we're ready for the second round. And what we're going to do is we're going to go out there, give it our all. And if we go first, that means we're going to have more time to prepare for our next battle.
All right. Andrew Manning, the very official answer. I appreciate the X's and O's breakdown of the process tonight.
Absolutely, Pat.
Now, you've had an opportunity to hang out with this guy a lot over the last few days. We got into London a little bit early. I sense a little bit of Nasty Nate has an edge. I've hung out with you.
Pretty round to me.
You got nothing for that?
No, let me continue.
What are your thoughts on this guy after hanging out with him for a couple days?
My thoughts on Andrew after hanging out the last few days is he's cooler than I thought. I like hanging out with him more than I expected to. Because we hung out like that one night at the mothership, so
yeah.
We got to hang a little bit, and he was cool. But like, if I'm sitting here thinking about this dude for 2 months, boy, give me something to work with.
Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed hanging out with him. He's funny. You know, we got him drunk last night. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, he loosened up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Usually wound tight and seemed to let his guard down and chill with the boys. It was a good time.
Yeah, we had to mandate it. We had to make it a commissioner's mandate that you join us for dinner at the pub, because it seems like your process coming into this was you did stand-up. You're the only one who booked like a bunch of shows. You've been getting on stage, and the remainder of the time it feels like you're like, I'm locking myself in my room and I'm just focusing on that. I'm not doing any of the touristy kind of shit. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to handle business. Is that accurate?
Most of it was focusing on stand-up, Pat. I spent a lot of my time in my hotel room with my eyes closed, just going over my goals in life. And I'm probably going to start writing for the roasts after we finish this podcast. But most of the time it's just about the process, just getting my mind right.
He's doing a thing. I was not prepared for Andrew Manning doing a thing. I'm throwing off of my game.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to figure it out. Nah, you're good, man. This is the tension is high, I feel like. Are you guys nervous at all? Now that we're here at the venue, the thing's about to go down. Where are you at psychologically? How you feeling?
Yeah, we nervous. I can't speak for nobody else. I'm nervous. Of course we're nervous. I'd be fucking lying to you if I said I ain't nervous.
Yeah.
But I'm also at the same time excited. I'm also confident. I'm also calm. But I got that nerve. It's a different nerve. You know the difference between like a big show nerve versus like a roast battle big show nerve?
Yes. Yeah.
We are pretty much in a goddamn arena.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We are the fucking gladiators of this shit today. And it's fucking dope. And I'm ready to fucking go down. I'll win or go down swinging.
It's your first time out of the country.
Yeah.
Out of the United States.
You had a passport just for this shit.
I know. You had to get the passport to come here and try to win the belt. And this was your first time doing stand-up, I believe, in England or just out of the country, Jetter?
First time doing stand-up out of the country.
What is it, man? This is open to both of you guys. I guess we'll go with Andrew first. What has it meant for this championship to be in London at the Top Secret Comedy Club versus last year it was in Denver, or if it was in San Francisco or somewhere like that? Has that added to kind of like the prestige of the event, or the stage is irrelevant to you?
It is 100% added to it. I'm going to stop doing the thing.
Okay.
It made it a lot more pressure because it is that much more prestigious. You guys are putting so much into this. There's so much production. There's people coming from different corners of the world. So to me, it felt like it would be disrespectful to not give what it was calling for.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people putting in a lot of work. I should be doing the same.
Yeah.
So it put a lot of pressure on me in that way.
Yeah, and I know all the battlers have put in a lot of time writing, for this thing. Nate, how's this experience been for you?
Dude, I'll start off by saying thank y'all, for real. This is the first time I ever left the country. I didn't plan on doing it until something happened with, I told my friend not long ago, I was like, I ain't leaving the country. I ain't going on no damn adventures, quests off fucking across the river or across the ocean or whatever the fuck it is.
The pond.
Yeah. Whatever. I ain't doing that unless it's for stand-up. And look at this. Now I'm here because of this. I'm here because I'm good at calling people fat, stupid, and gay.
Right.
It's awesome.
It is bizarre that we've created a world where the better you are at calling people fat, stupid, and gay, the higher up you get.
Or you get championship belts for it and shit.
Yeah.
It's a fucking dream come true, to be honest. Well, Pat, it's a fucking dream come true. Trying to do my Andrew Weathermanning.
Just rewarding people for bullying. And speaking of which, you guys are very different stylistically, right?
Yeah.
Like, not even in terms of like roast battle.
What do you mean by that?
The differences are subtle.
I can't tell.
The differences are subtle. Maybe I'm the only one who's picked up on them. Nate is a little bit louder. He's a little bit more boisterous. He's a little bit more aggressive in tone. You were saying there was a great comment on you guys battled at the Mothership earlier this year at the All-Star game, and there was a comment that said you were more New York than Andrew is. And when you said that, I thought about it, and I'm like, I would also argue that Andrew is more LA than you are. Here you are representing, LA.
Yeah.
And here you are representing New York.
Yeah.
There's a billion dudes in LA who look just like you.
Ouch, man.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, I'll take it, but
the stereotypical New Yorker, right? I'm walking over here.
Yeah, he's more of a, excuse me, sir, I'm walking.
ignorant, wrong, in other people's way. A New Yorker, yeah.
That's not your style.
No, it's
Me, I'm trying to walk here.
And that's also, but it also translates over into your roasting. Like, you're way more of like a character on stage. You know what I mean? And it's you. It's not like you're playing a character, but your personalities are so different. When you're preparing for somebody like Nate and you're watching his battles, obviously you're writing jokes. Are you also processing strategically like what you'll do differently against somebody who's like him versus somebody who would be more like you?
I don't know if I would do something, because I just roasted somebody before coming here who was more like reserved and quiet and like, kind of long thought out jokes, as opposed to Nate, which is like very character, very flavorful, very punchy. And I think it's the same thing. I think I just try to like write the jokes that I can. Obviously, I will play up whatever their characteristics are. So if I'm going against Nate, I'm not going to talk about how he's like, looks like, acts like a librarian, lesbian, whatever. It's just, that's not true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But so it's the same regardless. Now, you did mention, this is crazy to me, what you guys had to do to prepare for this. You had to write for 3 different battles, because you're going to battle twice tonight. Whether you win or lose the first one, you'll either battle for the championship or for 3rd place, but you have to write for both, people on the other side of the bracket. 3 full battles. To me, that would be enough where it's like, clear my schedule. I can't think about anything else. You battled someone like 4 days ago, like the day before you came out here. And you're battling someone else the day after you get back?
I think the first full day after I get back.
So you essentially wrote for 5 battles in about a 9-day span, if my math, about a week span maybe.
I literally have not started on the guy that I have to write for when I get back.
What was the thought process there?
I mean, I wanted to be in the tournament that they have at Grove, and so the only way to do that is...
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So what's the purpose of that tournament? Because you're already the champion. So what do you get in this tournament?
Bragging rights, established dominance. There's nothing wrong with doing 2 windmill dunks after another. But
is this tournament, if you pretend you lose, which you haven't done in fucking 3 years, but pretend that you fucking lose on whenever you get back.
Yeah.
Is that person gonna be the number 1 contender for your belt? Do they take your belt? How do they do it?
It's possible. I mean, it's a big bracket. So if somebody beats all the people that are in that tournament. That shows that they're a heavy contender. There are some really good roasters in there. There's also a cash prize. That's part of the incentive.
Oh, there it is.
Now, there it is. Now we're talking. Okay.
And now that we've been
So-
digging, we figured it out.
Absolutely. I should have started with that.
Yeah.
You know, guys, I like my craft.
Yeah. Bragging rights, windmill dunks. No. You want the cash.
Fucking moolah, guys.
And you, on the other hand, you battled a few months ago, and then when you got named for this, I didn't book you for anything.
Yeah.
Because I figured you would want as much time off to prepare. If you had had your choice, because I was booking your battles as the champion, if you had had your choice, do you wish you had taken kind of like a warm-up fight in the middle, or do you think this is for the best?
I think I trust the commission's judgment. So if you had
Great answer.
if you had booked me for some shut up, Barrett. Had you booked me, I'd have beat the fuck out of whoever you gave me in the belly room. But you didn't. So I, did some stand up. I got my stage presence. I got my timing on stage type shit, and I host the fucking bootleg fucking roast battles at the Improv. And when I'm hosting that, I'm always fucking just slanging things over the top of my head. So I feel like that keeps me rolling. You know what I'm saying? It keeps me fresh on not getting complacent, not getting like what do you call it? Like stagnant.
Yeah. One thing that I've noticed about you is you I think some people would say, and you might take exception to this, but some people would say that you don't handle losses well. I think at the very least you could say you are highly motivated by your losses.
Yeah.
You lost to this guy at the All-Star game.
Sorry,
at the mothership. And I know that's been a motivating factor. Are you over that loss yet?
Yes and no. Yes, I'm over it in the aspect of it doesn't bother me. I'm great job. You know what I'm saying? Like, all power to you, all respect. Having said that, yeah, I still use that as motivation, so I can't really say I'm completely over it because, like I've said before, last time I was on the podcast, I said I lost to Ryan Essen the first time I battled him, second time beat him.
Yeah.
I lost to Julian the first time I battled him, second time beat him. Lost to Big John the first time I battled him, second time beat him. So he's undefeated in 3 years. I think I could be the one to do it. One of our fucking streaks is going to end of either the rematches for me or the fucking every matches for him.
Yeah.
So I know at the end of the day, bruh, I know I did everything I could do up until this point today, 3 hours before the battle. I know I did everything I could do to prepare and do the best I can to kick his ass. Love you. But to kick his ass. And if I can, great. And if I don't, fuck. All right, great. We're going best out of 5, asshole. And that might be the most psychopathic thing I've said is to want to write about him 5 times.
Yeah,
Can I get an amen from the fucking internationals?
Nobody wants to battle you for 2 reasons. Number 1, you're really good. You haven't lost in 3 years, as he just said. Number 2, I think the consensus is you are very, very difficult to write for. Do you feel bad about that? Are you apologetic that you do not have any fucked up facial features, a criminal record, anything interesting about you at all?
No.
What would you, if you had to, so obviously you're really good at writing roast jokes. If you had to write a roast about Andrew Manning,
Oh boy.
where would you sit?
Boy, I roast Andrew Manning every fucking day, dude.
Yeah.
There's oh, you fucking piece of shit. You don't call your mom enough. Those kinds of things. Like, oh, your parents aren't going to live forever. You should talk to them. You should be nicer to your sister. Why are you so stupid with money? You should donate. I'm not a great person. That's the kind of shit I tear myself up about.
I would love it so much if Nate wins the battle tonight with a killer closer about how you don't call your mom enough.
I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. That's not like appealing to a crowd.
Sure.
So, I do see what you're saying. It's hard to write for me because I look kind of unremarkable and I don't have a ton of shit going on in my life. I mean, everybody's got shit, but it does kind of blow that I'm like plain, I get that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's funny because on the one hand, the Roast Battle League it's all about wins and losses and everything like that, and that's why you're here, because you went undefeated and they voted for you as New York MVP. But I think to our larger audience, people like John Ajoda, Malia Simon, maybe resonate a little bit more with them. Is that something that bothers you at all, that you're like arguably the best in the world, and yet when people outside of New York talk about New York, Andrew Manning's not always in that conversation?
I think it just shows that I need to do something different and work on getting my name out there, because I think that would really be the only difference. If I'm just like, oh, these people are just as good, but people know about them, it's like, well, then the only difference is people know about them,
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not going to take up... Go ahead.
One quick question.
Yeah.
Those are two people that you have beat already.
It's quite possible, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take up too much more of your time because I know you guys have to, run the jokes 1,000 times, get them in your head and everything like that.
Yeah, I got about 6 cigarettes to go smoke real quick.
I think I would take the over on that one.
I would too.
For sure. Let's close with this. Predictions.
Do you want to go first? I will, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
My prediction for this fucking belt is I beat his ass, and then I beat either one of their asses, and I leave with this bitch in my bag, take it back to L.A.
Okay, that's definitive.
And that's the bottom line because Nasty Nate said so.
There we go. Something, Randy Savage. Yeah. I mean,
Fucking Randy Average. Okay, continue.
nice. Very good. Hulk broken. I predict, this is kind of a prediction, but also what I would like to happen. I think I would win our battle, and then I want to go against Jack because, my God, what a character.
Yeah.
But the chips will fall where they may.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight. Nate Welch, Andrew Manning. We're going to hop to the second half of this podcast now and get to the international side of thing. Have a good couple battles tonight.
Appreciate you, Commish. Good luck, players.
What's up, everybody? It's your friendly Roast Battle League Commissioner, Pat Barker, here to talk to you about FactorMeals.com. We've had a partnership with Factor Meals for a little while now, and I remember when we first started doing Factor ad reads, I was reading them, and I was very excited because I love their product. They have delicious food. If you don't like to cook like me, if you're on a budget, there's so many great things about Factor. There's great variety. There's a lot of choices. There's a lot of things to love. I didn't love, however, the comment section. I did these ad reads, and I would go down to the comments, and instead of being like, wow, Pat is so articulate about his love for Factor Meals, it was, oh, we're supposed to buy healthy meals from someone that fat. I saw that. It hurt my feelings. Did I get upset? No. I kept eating Factor Meals and hitting the gym, and now I'm down like 20 pounds. You can't see it because I'm still pretty gross, but I was way worse before Factor Meals. Factor Meals has changed my life. I'm like remember that guy who ate all the Subway sandwiches? I'm like that guy, but for Factor, with a couple of key differences. But like the big pants thing, that's me now. I used to be big and fat. Now I'm like less big and less fat. And along the way, I've saved a bunch of money. I've saved a bunch of time, and I've eaten a lot of delicious food with Factor Meals. And that's what you need to do. You need to eat smart with Factor, and you can get started right now at factormeals.com/roast50off and use promo code roast50off for 50% off your first box plus free shipping. You're not going to find a better deal than that anywhere. You can eat smart, you can eat healthy, you can eat delicious, and you can do it at factormeals.com/roast50off. Use promo code roast50off for 50% off of your first box plus free shipping. We love you, Factor. You literally saved my life. Thank you. Please cut the part where I said the thing about the Subway guy. I shouldn't have said that. And we're back on RBL Weekly as we count down to the World Championship, which is about to take place right here at the Top Secret Comedy Club in London, England. And now we are here with the second half of the bracket, the international half, the Scotland MVP. What? Go ahead.
just international, and it's the two whitest guys you've ever seen in
We're in London. You're like, these foreigners.
It is. Yeah, let's address the obvious. People are going to be weirded out when they come to the comedy club in London, and they're like, and now representing Tokyo, Jay Yamaki, and then you sound just like them.
Yeah.
They're going to be disappointed. They want to see a real.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
But this is kind of. I think you could argue, and I don't think you feel this way.
Right.
This is kind of home field advantage for you.
Yeah, no, fuck off.
This was, but this is, but you also told me this is your first time performing stand-up in London.
Exactly.
So explain that to me real quick, because I think I had the timeline a little bit wrong, because you did comedy in England, right?
Yeah, I did back in 2010 to 2012-ish. But that was up in Liverpool and Manchester mainly.
Got it.
So yeah, this is my first time gigging in London. When I used to live here, I wasn't doing any comedy, so...
Gotcha.
I mean, I wasn't doing any comedy in Liverpool, but but they were very welcoming. So.
Well, and then you found your footing in Tokyo, and now you come back, and your first time performing in London is going to be at this like big thing. I think pretty cool, serendipitous, right?
It's crazy, man. It's just so wild.
Yeah.
It's weird that my future, I'd be sitting next to this guy, and we're getting prepared to insult each other. It's just so wild, man. It's great. Can't believe it.
And then for you, I assumed, just based on proximity, that you had performed in, London a lot. Not the case, right?
Nah, so it's a different world down here. Sort of London scene sort of looks down on every other scene and stuff like that, so it's hard to break through. And I would rather not slum it on a megabus for like 13 hours to get down here and just like die in my arse in front of like 50 Tarquins.
I got half of that, but
We all want
by the way, is high for a Jack Traynor conversation. Last night was our first time hanging out because you got in a little bit late because like the only hurricane in the history of Scotland happened to touch down.
I think Andrew Manning was controlling the weather.
You joke. Flight got delayed. Just making sure they understand. Flight got delayed, and then you came in. You showed right up to the pub, and you were everything I had hoped for and expected. This character that I had gotten to know through Roast Battle, and you're the life of the party, man. You're a lot of fun. What people see on stage is very much who you are.
It was not the life of the party this morning, I'll tell you that for nothing.
I think it was a rough morning for a lot of us. Yeah, maybe not the best decision. Jay got out of there early, but the rest of us, it was a long night in London. Fun though.
Yeah, it was great fun.
Yeah. So this is your first time performing in London then?
Yeah, second time roasting outside of Scotland.
Yeah.
Third time, sorry. I've done Liverpool, Manchester, now down here. Definitely something I'm going to look into next year, but next season. So keep an eye out. I'm going to try and get down here more often, Manchester more often. Just keep things ticking over in Edinburgh as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It is pretty crazy. The first season you battled one time, and that was it. And I think it was the number one battle. The one time you battled.
I very naively took on Ryan Cullen with 3 hours notice.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And I think that was just a sort of baptism of fire, to be honest. Because that's like just doing it on like legendary mode, like straight off opening the game.
Yeah.
But
especially since you do 30 jokes per battle there.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about down here, just because the format is slightly different. In Edinburgh, I don't know if it's just because like the pool of people's smaller and they need to like make a show out of it. But the not being able to just like tombstone them with like 20 roasts, having to actually like find that one funnier, but maybe that one will get a better reaction and stuff like that. I'm nervous. I've been stressing over it.
Yeah. Well, I think anyone who's written for Roast Battle, and Jay, I would like to see if you agree, the hardest part is not writing the roast jokes. The hardest part is editing. And deciding between joke A or B, and that's something you don't have to worry about in Scotland. You're like, I'll just do all of them.
Yeah, you can just fire them. And I've seen battles going for like, well, if you check out a Kate Hammer roast,
yeah,
she's got like just like a fucking phone book worth of just call. Like, she creates like a wee world.
Yeah, your battle with Kate Hammer was like 13 minutes or something outrageous. Right.
And I think half of it was just me standing there just getting embarrassed.
got my pants pulled.
She literally flicked your nose.
Oh, no, I was devastating. I nearly retired my roast career in that moment.
Yeah.
How are you meant to get nose booped and then carry on after that? She done it midway through. It still burns.
It should have disqualified you from winning MVP. You won the league MVP.
She's the winner. Like, how can I call myself the MVP? But
Yeah, like we couldn't give it to Jordan if he got like wedgied in the middle of the game. Like that would, yeah, exactly. But yeah, the editing process, when you do that many jokes, it's like if one misses, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But when you're doing 5 against somebody who's as good as Jay or Andrew or Nate, one miss could seal your fate. That could lose you the battle. So I definitely get what you mean about that part being tough. And then also in Scotland, it's customary to kind of like read the jokes off the phone. You're committing everything to memory.
yeah, the memory thing as well. I'll just need to see how that goes. I'm trying not to get too stressed in it because I'll obviously just start forgetting everything. But hopefully he's good at it. So hopefully he'll make us look good.
Yeah, so you were a little bit of a surprise this year in that you went from one battle in season 1 to winning the MVP the second season. But I think a lot of people expected Scotland to be here. Ryan Cullen was in the championship last year. I don't think a lot of people expected Tokyo to be here. I think,
Why not, Pat?
well, I think the city that we're in right now, I think London was so dominant in that first season.
Yeah.
And I think people expected that to kind of continue, but they left the door open for you guys and Manchester, and you guys made it work. You won despite being, to use like a sports comparison, like a small market team kind of. You don't
Completely accurate. Yeah, yeah.
don't have as many comedians in Tokyo as you do in London.
Well, there's literally only one comedy bar in the entire
Right.
region of Japan. So the fact that, our small pool of like 8 roughly main battlers and then various others who kind of like are coming up for like, it's just so weird, man. It's so weird. I can't, hello.
It is kind of like the Jamaican bobsled team of the roast battle.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is that I'm going to be sliding on my head at the very end of this.
I'm sure. Does that put more pressure on you, or does that make it a little bit easier? Where it's like nobody expected me to be here. I'm playing with house money. Whatever happens.
The pressure comes from how good everyone is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Manchester were up and coming. They could have bopped us or something like that. But I mean, we got through and it's great and it's like, yay. But then you get here and like Jack is just so fucking naturally funny.
Yeah.
Nate and Andrew's same. And then to just be here and to give an answer like this, it's embarrassing.
I was worried about coming up here and being funny, but I just want to say nice things about everyone.
I know, right?
I don't want to.
That's the funniest thing.
Yeah, this is the weird episode where it's like we gotta, I guess RBL Weekly is kind of like that, where it's like we're taking an inherently unserious thing like comedy and we're doing like the Sports Center thing.
Not even like
right?
the unserious part of comedy, an unserious an even more unserious part of a more unserious part of comedy, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of like
The roast battle specific.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're niche part of comedy.
Yeah, well, if I want to have a podcast about roast battle, I can either do a very what we're doing now, or I can just make you guys say mean things about each other. So I landed on this. I'm not sure it's the right decision, but here we are.
We should do a BattleBots podcast.
I would love to do a BattleBots podcast.
I do.
We have a lot of fans, dude. You keep fucking with me for writing for BattleBots. I'm telling you, the BattleBots army is strong, and we're coming back. I don't know when, but season 9 is going to be wild. We have a question from the crowd.
From Nate.
Battling back tonight.
Oh.
Okay. Nate is getting his shots in early. Don't know if you could hear that. If you couldn't, it's fine.
Same difference.
Yeah. One thing you said when you walked in here and you're looking at kind of like the scope of this place, beautiful club.
Yeah.
And you've never battled outside of the Tokyo Comedy Bar, which is a fraction of the size, obviously.
Yeah.
You're cramming people in there. to get to a number that's 20% of like what we're gonna have, you know, tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, rub it in, Pat.
Is that no? There's a few places in the world I love performing more than the Tokyo Comedy Bar. Like I came up in the belly room, which was like the same size wise, and it's just people on top of people, and I love that. I think it's great for roast battle.
Yeah.
But this is obviously like way different. It just feels bigger. Is that intimidating? Are you excited to be part of that?
A little bit, yeah, because I've always liked the kind of, I don't know how you feel about this, Jet, but like the gigs I used to do in the UK, up in Liverpool, Manchester, where they were just pub gigs. Yeah. You know, where you're on the same, like we're on a bit of a stage here in Tokyo Comedy Bar, there's a bit of a stage, but when you're just on the same level as the crowd, and it's just, there's that chaos, that kind of, you know, the live comedy experience compared to watching it on YouTube or whatever. Whereas here, there's that everyone is sat in a specific spot.
Yeah.
And I find that kind of a little bit strange for me. Because, you know, Tokyo Comedy Bar, we just pull out chairs and everyone kind of like scatters them about and we try and fit as many people in, you know, so.
Yeah, the chairs are like bolted into the ground here.
Yeah, that's right. Why is that? Is that because Nate was turning up? Is that what?
Yeah, they're like, the Americans are coming. We got to make sure that nobody can steal this shit. And then your home country was battered by this storm.
Yeah.
Storm Owen, I believe.
I could not tell you how to sing.
When New Orleans got hit by Hurricane Katrina, the Saints, sorry, didn't mean to bring up painful memories for Nate, but when that happened, the Saints won the Super Bowl a few years later, and it was this galvanizing moment for the people who had suffered through so much. Do you feel like you winning the Roast Battle Championship would have the same effect on the storm victims in Scotland?
I think they would line the streets.
Yeah.
See, when Biggie died, I would expect nothing less from my funeral. Just people jumping on top of cars and stuff, wigs and shit like that, merch. There's a merch stand there, beers, stuff like that, foam fingers, got a halftime show and everything, just go out, all bells and whistles.
When we stepped the merch game up, we got to do a Jack Traynor foam finger.
He's born for merch, right?
Yeah. I'm going to commission like a Jack Traynor, like bobblehead.
I was going to say bobblehead.
I have like the ginger hair out the back.
You are in a lot of ways the face of the league right now. You had the Battle of the Year with Shalaka. What's the strategy when you write for Jay Yamaki? What's the strategy overall? Because you might, in order to win this thing, you're gonna have to win 2 battles. Did you put most of your attention into him? Did you split it 3 ways? What was the move?
I was just a mosh pit, honestly. I knew that I just had these 3 guys, just 3 separate notes on my phone, and I don't know if this is like what other people do, but I'm just constantly distracted. So if I want to write, I'll just start doing something else.
Yeah.
Because then I'll start writing in my head and stuff, and then I can just like jot down any roast or something that come up. Like I'm not really cut out for like sitting there and being like methodic with it. Like I know some people can do that, crunch out like loads of roasts, but just sort of as it comes to me. I've just got hatred coursing through my body at all times.
Absolutely, yeah.
So just sort of like open the valve a wee bit, let some of it out, and then just back in here.
Hell yeah. I love that. What about you?
I generally forgot what the question was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So did I. Something about,
zoned out a bit.
about the writing process. I mean,
I'm so sorry.
Did you put most of your energy into Jack? Because that's
Oh,
what
right, yeah,
I
yeah.
heard about last year when we did the championship for the first time. I thought that the first 2 battles, the semifinals, would be great, and then the finals would kind of be like both people just running on fumes, and then Ryan Nesson and Shalaka had this incredible battle. Yeah. But did you kind of like divide your attention equally?
I had to spend a bit more time on Jack because we're going a bit longer. So it's kind of just naturally I had to do that. But I've tried to, you know, if I'm writing for Jack one day, I'll try and like write for Nate and Andrew the next, and whoever I didn't write for then, you know, the day after kind of thing. So I've been trying to kind of rotate it around.
Yeah.
But because we're doing longer ones with Jack, I've had to spend more time.
So you guys talked about that ahead of time, doing longer.
Yeah, just kind of like we just because there was that one battle where it was one-sided, Nate versus John Luna, sorry, and we didn't want that. I didn't want that kind of feel for the battle.
Where one of you is doing one joke and the other one doing
like
5.
58. Yeah, so like so that's why I reached out to all the guys and said, this is roughly what I'm thinking. Is that okay? And yeah, so we've all been good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you?
Basically, I'm great.
Yeah. What are your predictions for tonight, man?
Jack versus. It depends on. I mean, Jack's gonna beat me, and then we're gonna battle. No, Jack's going to beat me because he's on an upward trajectory and he's so fucking charming. It's annoying. But between Nate and Andrew, it could go either way. I think Nate's got the potential to go really hard and win.
Yeah.
But it depends on how annoyed he gets at Andrew.
So that's
that.
you know, I'm glad the chairs are bolted in now, Mark.
Yeah.
Could get ugly.
I'm surprised because I don't think it's fake humility when you say like, oh, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, no,
You're just kind of like
it's
happy to be
genuinely not.
here.
Yeah, no.
Like you really believe you're gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, you have seen me perform.
Yeah, you win a lot. You're the Tokyo of IP.
Yeah, but I mean, we're a small community, and you know, we don't have the experience of like the great thing about what Jack's able to do, you know, with Scotland and London and even Spain, you know, not too far away. You know, is that you can tour around. Like these guys, they get to go all around different places in America, and they're like completely different cultures in different states. You know, so to experience those different vibes. Whereas I'm kind of like the country bumpkin who's just coming here and is like, oh hey, what's going on, guys, kind of thing. So I'm not like putting on a face to say, you know, like oh it's like a strategy or something.
Yeah.
I genuinely think the guy's going to win, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let him win.
Right. No, of course.
You know,
yeah.
so, but I just want a fun battle.
I think you need a little more confidence. I think a lot of people think you beat Shalaka. I think a lot of people think you beat me. I think some people think you maybe not beat Paige Wesley, but you went toe to toe with her. You've proven that you belong here.
Oh, thank you.
And you should feel better about yourself.
And how much are you charging for this session?
This one's on the house. Totally. Yeah, we'll talk more after, and that the first hit is free. Jack, what is? Are you gonna try the same strategy, or are you gonna be like, well, he's gonna beat me for sure?
We have just spent the whole morning going, you're going to beat me, man. No, you're going to beat me. You're going to beat me. Like, I just think I'm still brand new to this. Oh, I'm doing well and stuff like that. You hear about some of the numbers people have got for roast battles. They're just kind of not as bad as what the situation in Tokyo is with, but like we are kind of limited. Like going into this next season, I'm sort of scratching my head, being like, who is it to roast now?
Yeah.
Am I going to have to come up against like belters? Like I couldn't write another roast for against Kyle Samuel, just because like so many people like have came up against him. I've seen him being roasted loads of times. He's roasted loads of times. Like, so I think that just sheer number, format of it and stuff like that. I would have maybe. It would have been good to have came down here, got a wee practice run in, run it back with Shalaka, maybe do something like that. But we'll just need to see tonight, man. We'll just gibbering shite now at this point.
It depends on the crowd as well, right? Is it? Yeah, something worried about.
Variables as well, because I heard, I don't know if it will be the case, but I heard the London audience can pull back a wee bit.
Yeah.
Which is giving me the fear a wee bit.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
Because I'm not to say like I'm just going to just start rambling slurs, but like
That's what you were saying earlier.
you want it there, do you know what I mean? I don't want to be like, you can't, no, but
Yeah.
I kind of didn't want to ask about that because I don't want to, make it like take a negative turn. But there definitely is something with preparing for a London crowd versus any other crowd. And I'm sure that's something that you probably considered, like in your writing process.
No.
No. I mean, I considered it, but I didn't change it.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to fucking hate this one. Like, that's...
Well, my hope is that we're going to have bloodthirsty roast battle fans here tonight. We're going to have a packed house, and I think it's going to be great. I'm excited to see the battle. And one of your predictions is going to be wrong. One of you has to win.
I didn't.
I've got Jay beating me, and then I think Andrew walks away with it.
Okay.
Guy's just prolific. He's sort of style and all that as well. You can't roast him. Do you know what I mean? Like he just sort of absorbs it.
I do. I was on the flight over with Nate, so I heard a lot about how difficult it is to write for Andrew Manning. I heard about it pretty much nonstop for the last 72 hours. Yeah.
But that's you want to get. We're meant to be the 4 best, aren't we?
We're meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be an issue, but we'll just need to wait and see, man. I wish I had like a cool promo to cut, like fucking 7:30. We'll see then.
Yeah.
I just want it done there. I'm kind of nervous, man.
Last question. If Jay, in the setup for his joke, tells you have something on your shirt, are you going to look down?
I'm pulling the fire alarm if he tries that.
Jack Traynor, Jay Yamaki, thank you guys so much for doing this. Best of luck tonight. Cheers, man. Great talking to you guys. That's the episode for this week. RBL Weekly, the championship, by the time you're seeing this, it's gone down. It's done. It's the live stream is should still be available on our Patreon if you're a member. If not, it's going to be coming here to YouTube really soon. Appreciate all the support. Thank you guys for everything. New season kicks off March 1st. The 2025 RBL season. Until next time, I'm Pat Barker, and we'll see you guys there. Let's roast!